Westside. We are right back with more from DCV Live.
Like a dirty devil, never singing like a choir. Talking, not listen. When your pussy be talking, applying that pressure far too often.
Hey everybody, welcome back. You do know my first guest tonight is a third-year psychology major and is the president of El Club De Espanol. Please welcome Maria Negrete. Maria.
Yes. Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
We're very thrilled to have you here. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Many people know you as the president of El Club De Espanol, and many Bobcats know that El Club De Espanol is all about just embracing the Latinx culture on all corners of the world. You guys definitely feature a lot of cultural roots that a lot of Bobcats who come from the Hispanic community can really relate to. But before we dive into the real ingredient that keeps El Club de Espanol ongoing, I want to dive in to your first experience as a Bobcat. So if you wouldn't mind, sharing for the audience, for those who don't know who you are, walk us through how your first day as a Bobcat went and what led you to landing here at UC Merced.
My first day, I do remember I was really nervous because, it's college now and it's not high school no more. And I came right after high school. So I was really nervous. I didn't know how everything was going to go. I just I was like, I know I'm going to get lost. I know I'm going to get lost. I don't know where none of these buildings are at. The classes, I don't know anybody here because I was the only one from my high school to come out here. And I remember I was like, oh my goodness. But I was excited also because it was a new chapter for me, but away from my family. So I would say I am really family oriented. So it did hit me. I got homesick like the first day. I wanted to go back. I was like, I don't even know if I'm doing the right choice. I should have stayed in community college. Why am I so far away? Now I have to deal with this. But my mom would just call me she called me the first day. She said, it's going to be okay. You're going to do fine. Eventually one of these days you do have to start life on your own and you have to do it. And so I went to class and it was good. Everybody was like all the professors were nice. I really liked Professor Daniel Mello. He was the first one I had. And I loved his class and I liked it so much. And I remember it came to lunch and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm really doing this. Like I was at the PAV with my roommates at the time and we were like, we're really here. Like there was so crowded. Like I was like, wow, like I'm really in college. Yeah. It was kind of like a mixed emotion state. I was nervous, but then I was also sad, but then excited at the same time.
As somebody who has to navigate through a lot of these obstacles, that comes about in being as a college student, I do remember one of those occasions where I had to push myself, to look glamorous. Was there ever a moment that you came across like your first friend that you ever had when you started your Bobcat experience? And how did this help you expand your social network with other people on campus?
It was like my roommates at the time. They were like the first people that I talked to because I got more nervous. I realized that more so everybody in college is in like their own bubble and some people don't want to interact. Some people are like too shy. And I find myself like really awkward and shy at first because I don't know how to approach people. But I would say my roommates, because we came from the background of all of us being Latinas, and I I needed like a support system where I knew that I could come to, they would understand me, and we would come from the same background. So with them, I the first semester, it was all about that. We were always together. We would always go out to stuff, and then that's when I came up to a Club De Espanol tabling, because you guys know we do table a lot, and
They're everywhere now.
yes, we're everywhere now. We do table a lot, and one of the girls, Janice, old president, 2 years ago, she, like, as soon as I talked to her, I just felt like, okay, this is where I belong. This is like the community that I know that as Latinos, like, I'm gonna be able to be myself, be comfortable with, and I could speak more on my background without being judged by anybody else. And it was true. She that day she mentioned two positions, event coordinator and secretary. And at first I was like, no, I'm still like a newbie out here. I don't know what any of this, how to get involved and everything.
And when did
And
this happen? Did this happen when you were a first year or second year, by the
first,
time that you were like nominated for secretary, if you will?
no, I was a first year.
Oh,
A
first
first,
year. Okay.
yes, first
Wow.
year
First
mentioned it.
year.
Yes, that's how I was like, I
That's
think
impressive.
I need to step back, because I was like, I don't know if I'm doing like the right thing. Like, should I get involved? Should I not get involved? I know nothing about the club and anything. But I remember I told Janice, I was like, you'll see me there. Like, I'm going to run for a position. And I had gone with one of my roommates at the time, and she was like, yeah, yeah, you should do it. We should do it, because she was also interested. And I remember they had meetings on the day that I was going back home. So I was like, how am I gonna do it? And I was really struggling and deciding, I'm like, am I gonna actually run for a position or not? And I emailed the other, like, vice president, Litzy, and she said, yes, you could still run, you just have to answer these prompts and I would read them out loud for you. And I did it, and I knew other people were also running for the position, but then my roommates went and they said, Maria, you got the position. You're gonna be event coordinator. And I was like, no way. Like, I was happy that I got it, but then I was also nervous because I was thinking that it was like high school, because in high school I was also a person really involved in another club that is called Latinos Unidos. So, and I was also event coordinator there. Like, I was always involved. So I just knew I wanted to get involved out here in Merced. And that was my first encounter of like being part of a club, and the officers all there became my friends. They were really much my support system my first year, because I also struggled a lot with issues that came up between the housing stuff that I was going through. And they helped me out a lot. And the club did too. The club has always had some stuff to do, and I just wanted to get involved.
Do you remember your first time that you had a breaking point throughout your college experience?
Yes, actually, my first year, second semester, me and my roommate were not getting along. And it was really hard for me because, well, obviously, I think it's hard for everybody sharing a room with someone you don't know. And it came a lot of issues in which they weren't talking, I wasn't talking. And then it led to having like a mediation in which things were said towards each other. And it happened for the whole rest of the semester. So the whole month of, I would say, March and April, every weekend I would go home, because I couldn't handle being in that room where it's tension, where I feel like Everything was collapsing on me, and I couldn't. And the club officers, they would be like, "Oh, come to our place." Like, I would always try to avoid going home. I did not want to be in that room. I would come home late. It came to a point where one night I was like, why am I even here? Like, why am I still trying? Why am I still here when I could just be home in my house with my room, with my family? But another like fun fact, I go to church out here, and I also got myself involved. I'm a Sunday school teacher for little kids. So it was like, if I leave, I'm leaving. I call them my kids. I'm like, I'll be leaving my kids behind. And it was like, what do I do? Do I leave my kids behind, or do I just push through this that is only going to be temporarily? Because I had already found a spot for living off campus. So it was between back and forth, and I think a lot of prayer it took a lot of me to actually have to deal with that, because I've never done that with anybody. And I decided to stay out here. And now that I'm looking back at it, I'm glad I did, because Merced had just become something special to me because of my kids and because of the club.
I'm going to quickly dive into the real meaning behind Latinx Heritage Month. As many people know, Hispanic Heritage Month is about to wrap up. As a Latino community, may tell you that Hispanic Heritage Month is pretty much every single day. What can you tell me about Hispanic Heritage Month, and what did that really mean to you? Not only from your college experience, but also way back since when you first found out you had to, embrace your cultural roots.
I would say, to me, it means a lot because I could say middle school, I didn't really like to tell anybody that I was Hispanic. I was just like, I'm just assuming and I wouldn't do nothing about it. Like, I wouldn't celebrate my family from both sides, my moms and dads. They don't really talk about it either. So to me, it was just like, oh, it's something regular. Like, I don't know what people are talking about, like, or why are people caring so much for Latinx, the Hispanic Heritage Month, until I got to high school. And one of my teachers there, I forgot her name, she mentioned it, and she was like, how all you guys should be proud of where you guys come from, where your family comes from, your roots. And at first I was like, what about it? Like, I'm Mexican, like, that's all. That's all there is. Like, I don't know nothing. Like I knew about the culture, like I knew about La Misa, Cristo Rey and all of that. But to me, because we changed religion to Christianity, it became something like, I'm not gonna do that because it's not part of my religion. So I shut down that whole aspect of like being Hispanic and sharing those cultural roots, because I said, I don't fit in. I'm a Christian. So then that teacher was like, no. Like, there's more to it. Like, the food, the music, the background stories of like, how did your grandpa do all this? How did your great grandpa, like all of them having to work hard and fighting for their rights. And I was like, wow, like there is actually more. And it wasn't until high school, my sophomore year, I became more involved in between like my Hispanic roots. So in folklorico, posadas, because my high school did host those type of events. Posadas for everybody in December. Every year they'll have.
You guys are way cooler than we are. We had almost none of that. All we did was we just dressed up as freaking rancheros, and we just brought fake violins from the dollar store. I remember that incredible experience that we had. Like, even though we didn't have much, but we still embraced our cultural roots that way.
Yeah. So, I know a lot of people tell me that they're like, oh, your high school did all of that. I'm like, well, in my high school and where I'm from Pittsburgh, from the Bay. There's only one high school. So there was like 3,000 of us, and the majority of the population were Black, Hispanic or Samoans.
You guys had Samoans in the building?
Yes.
That's crazy.
A lot, like the majority of the population was that. So my high school, like apart from all of like situations that they've had, I would say it's a good high school because it emphasized everybody's culture. When it would be Black History Month, the school would do so many activities. Like, oh, we're gonna do assembly. Or we're gonna do there was different types of groups that have like step dancing, stuff like that, pep rallies, lip dubs, and all of that. And when it came to Hispanic heritage, they would do the same thing. So we would have in December las posadas. I remember one year we did La Navidad del Chavo, and we decorated everything like that.
You guys are way more gangster than we are. Let me just say that on the record. We didn't have anything like that, except for pep rallies and aguas frescas. And what were like the main like cultural clubs in high school that you had aside from what you mentioned earlier, Latinos Unidos?
Philam Club. So it was like Filipino and Asians. The what was it? Like the step dancing, they were called. What were they called? I forgot what they were called. But it was like the step dancing. The Hawaiian club because a lot of the girls like to do dances. What others? I can't really remember. I can only remember like the more like Key Club.
So like the top ones, no?
Yeah, like Key Club, Global Glimpse. Everybody wanted to be in Global Glimpse because it would take you out on trips to either like Costa Rica or stuff like that. For those, you would have to be nominated by a senior. So it was yeah, it was a lot of competition, and obviously my school praised football and band.
Same here.
Yeah, they praised the band went famous, and then the school won like championships, and it was always mainly that.
At first, I thought, well, you were already famous back in high school, so I was like, you know what? Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, this really goes deeper into how many of us in the Latinx community really embrace the cultural values, the accomplishments and achievements, and the history behind Hispanic Heritage Month. At first, I did not get the meaning of what Hispanic Heritage Month was. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I just saw people with their lemonade stands, with their agua fresca stands. I didn't really fully understand the meaning behind Hispanic Heritage Month because when I first saw the congregation of like several stands just selling different kinds of drinks, I just thought, well, okay, I guess that's what it is. It's just all about drinks and getting drunk, especially Modelo, which is next level. Ahora, moving on to my next pregunta. El Club De Espanol really deserves a lot of credit. You know what I'm saying? For keeping traditions across Latin America alive at UC Merced. So walk us through how your experience at the club shaped the person that you are, and what were your favorite highlights of being a part of this club? So
the way that the club has absolutely changed my perspective is like in a really good way. During our club, we do celebrate anything that comes up, like National Something Day, National Whatever Day. So I would say it did change my perspective a lot. And like for right now, Latinx Heritage Month, we're always trying to do something for people. We're always trying to do new stuff so that everybody could get involved. I would say I changed a lot in the way that public speaking, maybe. Now, obviously, I've been in the club for about 3 years now because that's how many years I've been. I'm a third year. But it's changed me a lot because now in each year I've had a different role. So first year I was event coordinator, second year I was secretary, and now I'm president. So it's changed me a lot in the way that I see how much work is put into everything that we do, how much time, how much effort, and how much our members enjoy what we do now. I'm glad we can make members feel de-stressed from the school, like from any stuff that they have going on, how they're all interacting with each other. And I would say like my favorite highlights of the club have been so far is our Noche de Carnaval. We host them every spring semester. And I would say like having to plan everything and then realizing that, oh my goodness, people are really interested because those are events that are bigger, a lot more people come. But then it's also another highlight that I remember was we did a Dia de los Muertos gathering here at my house, and we all sat in a group, and we like everybody became vulnerable for like a minute or two in giving thanks, and or like for Thanksgiving, giving thanks, and it was just something like so nice because I was like, not everybody wants to listen to you, or not everybody could resonate with you, but that night everybody was like, we're here for you. Like it was a strong community behind everybody.
Do you have any announcements that you would like to present on behalf of your club?
We're going to have Noche de Baile October 14th. We are going to have a DJ and banda. It is going to be from 6 to 10:30 at the amphitheater.
And that was Maria Negrete. She is the president of the Club De Espanol. Maria,
Yes.
gracias for being here.
Thank you.
I hope the flow went well. Otherwise, my Hispanic friends can fact check me on this.
We'll be right back with a quick commercial.
Get your team ready to move.
I'm ready.
Welcome, enjoy the show.
Vámonos.
Celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month
I don't mind that.
with stories of heroes,
Everything's gonna be just fine.
home,
I love it here. This town, the people.
and honor.
You need to remember what you're fighting for.
Celebrate today and every day.
Oh, cheers to that. Salud.
Explore the One Mountain Una Familia collection on Paramount Plus. Stream now.
Y'all know what all these $5 boneless wings and crinkles means. Cannonball! Arby's, we have the meats.